Hi ladies, I'm Anne and I'm the founder of Molly's Money, where working moms get on track towards financial freedom and independence. And in this video, I'd like to answer the question whether buying a home is a good investment. So buying investment, real estate, or buying a home, those two things are completely different. It's like comparing a bicycle with a motorcycle. They look a bit similar, but they are really not the same thing. And the problems come when we confuse those two things. So when you buy investment real estate, your focus is on the financial returns. And when you buy a home, there are so many other soft factors that goes into it. And it's also very emotional. But when you're buying a home, you want it to be a good financial decision, right? Okay, so let's look at an investment in general. What makes a good investment? Well, first of all, it needs to pay you back the money you put into it in the first place. And on top of that, you also want to get paid for the risk of taking on that investment. So when you're comparing investments, a big part of it is seeing where your money is working the hardest. And that means that you're getting the most money out of it as possible. But another thing to think about also is that you want to spread your risks. You don't want to have just one type of investment. And that's one of the problems of looking at your home as an investment. It's only one property. It's not diversified. We also need to take into account inflation. And inflation basically means that our money will not be worth as much in the future as it is today. And that's around -3% per year. So essentially any new investment we buy, it needs to perform better than 3%. Otherwise it's essentially like ±0. And this forces us to take on investments that pay us higher returns than 3% on average, at least for a part of our investments. So when you look at your home as an investment and you want to know if it's working hard for you or not, you basically calculate it like this. You take the current value of your home and then you take away the purchase price that you bought it for, maybe a number of years ago, and then you take away the costs of owning that home and also the taxes from that. So let's say you bought your home 10 years ago for 170,000 euros and today it's worth 250,000 euros. So you could sell it for that, and that's a difference of 80,000 euros. So now you would need to take away the costs that you've paid for living in that house for 10 years. And that's the mortgage interest, maintenance, insurance, taxes, and any other fees related to buying the home or living there. So now you take that number and if that's a yearly amount, you take that times 10, which is the time period that you lived in that house. So now you take the 80,000 minus the costs for the full period that you lived there. And after that amount, you take away what you would pay in taxes, and that is your return. So my guess is that the return you get after living there all those years is not very good, and it barely covers the inflation rate, if at all. So now you might ask, but I need somewhere to live, and wouldn't I just pay rent otherwise? And that's a very good question. I totally get it. You definitely need a place to stay. But think of your home as a cost and not as an investment. And if you want to build financial freedom and independence, you need to keep your costs as low as possible so that you have more money towards investments that work harder for you. So it doesn't matter if you buy or rent your home. What matters more is that you put as little money as possible towards things that cost you money, and so that you have more money for investments and things that put money into your pockets and not the other way around. And there are many, many more aspects to this topic, but I'm not going to cover them all because it would make the video too long. And these are things that I help my clients with during money coaching. So if you need any help to take control over your money, send me a message and request a free clarity call. I would love to hear from you. Take care. Bye.